Hi guys, welcome to another movie review by me, Beardo. Today I will be reviewing Downsizing. Downsizing is a story set in a reality where humans are shrunk down to about 6 or maybe 8 inches so that they can create small habitats to improve the economy around the world. This will lower things like consumption of food, and so there's less rubbish generated, and it's supposed to be a lot more eco-friendly. So the story follows Paul and his wife Audrey, who decide to go on this process of being downsized in order to move to one of the communities and basically get more out of life than their money's worth. In the film, Paul is played by Damon. He does a pretty good job of conveying this man who has a want and need to be downsized. His wife Audrey is played by Kristen Wiig. She's great too, and even though she's not really in the film much apart from the first half hour, she really does bring a different side of a character compared to everyone else. She shows the worries that come with deciding whether or not to go to be downsized. Now, it's no spoiler to say, as you see in the trailer, that at the last minute Audrey decides not to go through with it, and so Paul ends up being downsized. And it's an irreversible procedure, so he ends up being stuck in this new community without a wife to share it with. And the rest of the film follows Paul as he's struggling to live any kind of normal life that he was hoping to have with his wife in this downsized community. On his travels, he meets this immigrant called Tran, who she has a bit of a sad past where she's actually an illegal immigrant who was brought in through a downsized TV set, which sounds kind of funny, but when you get more into the past of her in the film and you kind of understand what her purpose is, it really brings a kind of heartwarming side to the character. Tran is played by Chau, and she does a fantastic job of creating this sympathetic but at times hilarious character. Some of the things she says and how brash and blunt they come off is just really funny to watch. A, because we're not used to seeing these kind of traits in a human really, and B, because of Asian stereotypes. I think Downsizing is a really hard film to sell, and it's no wonder that the trailers have kind of passed this movie off as a comedy. And the film is pretty funny in places, but after the initial plot setup of being downsized and being in a small world, the plot takes a turn that you don't really expect. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but I think you're either going to be on board or you're not, and it's definitely not going to be the film you expect it to be. At times towards the end, there's some very poignant moments that really come off really beautiful, and it really is a contrast to the setup of the film. Like I said, it's not really where you expect to see the film going, but it does, and it definitely has its benefits, although it will definitely not be everyone's cup of tea. The film is written by Alexander Payne, who previously wrote and directed Election, The Descendants, Sideways, and Nebraska, and I think this is a very different film for him. And I was slightly surprised he wrote it, because even though there's some of his trademark quips about life in general, this is very much a sci-fi film, even though it's grounded in some sort of reality. A lot of it works, it does work pretty well, but unfortunately when it doesn't, like I said previously, it just misses the mark, and it's really going to catch people off guard, and unfortunately put a lot of people off. The acting is pretty good across the board. I definitely think that Tran is the highlight of the film. She has some amazingly hilarious moments as well as some really deep emotional ones too. But this is definitely going to be a film that will divide people. They'll either like it or they'll hate it. There's obviously some great visual gags, as there's lots of normal sized things in the downsized world, such as a rosebud being used as a housewarming gift. And as you see from the trailer, the big bottles of vodka, which are used like a water tap. All in all, I did really enjoy Downsizing. It's definitely not what you're going to expect it to be. It's funny in some parts and emotional in others. The tone's all over the place, but I think for me it worked in the places where it needed to. And for those reasons, I'm going to score Downsizing 3.5 out of 5. Thanks for sticking around for another one of my movie reviews. Give it a thumbs up, comment or subscribe, and you will see more content coming from me soon. Thank you.